Okay, so I did a refresher of the episode because I am doing this late. So I watched the episode again, so I have everything on deck. So it begins back with them at the table at Mel's Taco Tuesday, or Talk About It Tuesday, or whatever she called it. Mel is continuing to be passive aggressive to her best friend Destiny. They're playing a game. They're talking about, she's basically trying to downplay Destiny's feelings. That Destiny's trying to talk to Tiffany about the way she felt about her bringing that cold tea to the her birthday brunch, and Mel is trying to make it seem like, it's no big deal. So she's basically downplaying her best friend's feelings in order to make Tiffany feel more comfortable. I don't know, Tiffany's a jerk. Tiffany said in her, basically, again, in her confessional, that she doesn't feel like she did anything wrong, and she feels like she didn't do anything wrong, and that if Destiny has a problem with it, then she just has a problem with it, and she ends up saying this, the famous narcissistic apology, where if you felt like I did something wrong, then I'm sorry. Not I did something wrong, so I'm sorry. If you felt like I did something wrong, then I'm sorry. That fake ass crap. And Mel was like, okay, isn't that great? Mel, that fake ass crap. Oh, Mel is awful. La, 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 la. Malibu Barbie, awful. You know what I'm saying? Just Malibu Barbie, just so fake. Okay. Ugh. So then she comes up with this game, like, would you ever? And like, the first card, of course, is would you ever sleep with a married man or be a side chick or something like that? It did get Ariane. Mel is just so pressed. Everyone talks about how pressed everyone is about Mel. Mel is so pressed. It's awful to watch, but I have to keep watching because I love everybody else on the show. So that's how that goes. And then next they show Tisha showing up at, what do they call it? The Skull Manor, I think it's called. It's not done yet. They're upset because their Uncle Mike has not come through in the way that they expected him to. He's taken too long to get everything done. It's basically half of a driveway done, and that's it. They have a concern about that, and they're talking about how difficult it is, and sometimes a bad idea to do business with family, which is basically their whole thing is family. So they're gonna have to figure that out. So, and then Tisha goes on to tell him, Mel told her, Mel showed her when she was at Taco Tuesday, some videos and some pictures of something someone sent her about Marcel with another girl. And it's just like, again, Mel, what's up? You keep asking this woman about her marriage. You keep giving your little, 2 cents of blah, blah, blah. You all up in it. You are really trying to... Ooh, Mel's terrible to me. Like, Mel is just a mess. That M that she's so pressed about, that M that she didn't want Tisha to copy, stands for mess. Okay, so they're just trying to figure out why everybody's trying to, people sending in pictures and stuff like that, why everybody's trying to, mess them over. And then Tisha messed them over, and then Tisha's like, I do think that we need to go ahead and see about a counselor. Would you be interested in going back to the counselor? And he's like, nah. And then eventually he agrees to go with her, so that was cool. They have a little scene with Tiffany and her husband. Every time I've watched it, I have drifted off, so I couldn't tell you what happened there. I just know that it's the same crap with her, with them being like, oh, what's the big deal? Who cares what I did? I'm the evil witch of the West, and I just do what I want to do, and how people are going to feel how they feel. Whatever. So then the next scene is Destiny having Mel over to talk. Well, yeah, at the they show them at the brunch again, and Mel's trying to bring up stuff like, Tiffany not or Destiny not telling her about the divorce, and she's saying she's still mad about that. And Destiny's like, well, whatever it is, we'll talk about it, me and you, later. And for some reason, well, I guess maybe because Mel feels upset that Destiny was talking to Tisha about Mel, so she feels like everything should, if you want to talk to me, talk about me to people, talk about our friendship to people, then let's just talk about it. Maybe that's how Mel felt. That's just to be fair, still Mel's a jerk. And Destiny was a jerk for telling Tisha, but I don't know what she was trying to do with that, but so so Mel does admit that she's still angry about Destiny not telling her about her divorce, and Destiny just says, my divorce isn't about you. She's like, no, it's not. So it's just very passive aggressive. Frenemies. These people are not friends. Good night. I went back to talking about Tisha and Marcel at Scott Manor, the unfinished Scott Manor. And then we went to Destiny welcoming Mel, who is toting a watermelon, under her arm. I thought that was cute. You come to your friend's house and bring a watermelon. I thought that was cute. Mel is good for the optics of it all, to me. But that was cute. So she comes in. Destiny is, she very clearly is not over their last encounter. She's a little bit cold especially compared to Mel and her nice and nastiness. And they go sit down, and Destiny tells her how she felt about the brunch and about the brunch. And did she bring up the brunch? I don't know. But she definitely tells her about how she felt about Taco Tuesday and how she excuse me, and how she was talking to her like she was a child and shushing her when they played the game. Mel was doing all this shushing Destiny and just being real, just nasty to her. And Destiny was bringing that up, and she's just like, I'm not cool with that. I don't like how you was trying to shut me up and all that. And so Mel was looking at her like she's an idiot and closing her eyes and all that. And Destiny says, well, open your eyes when I'm talking to you. And Mel says, well, I'm not Law, which is Destiny's baby. And Destiny says, well, I'm not Melania. And Melania is the only name I remember because Melania is so cute. All the kids are cute, but Melania is the smallest and she's precious. But Destiny runs down all the M names of their children. And she says, I'm not any of them, so you're not going to talk to me like that. And then Mel is like, well, this is what you're doing. You're saying, don't do that. And I'm like, who are you talking to? And it's just like, she's talking to you, Mel. She's talking to you. Okay? So they decide, or Mel decides, look, let's go in here and cut open this watermelon. Oh, no, by the way, Mel is laughing at Destiny's feelings in her face. Okay? Destiny's like, are we going to be children about this? And Mel's like, well, I don't know. Just being like a jerk. Mel is a jerk. Oh my gosh, she's awful. A Malibu Barbie jerk. So Mel says that Mel says that her and Destiny need to go in there and cut open the watermelon. If the watermelon is sweet, they're still going to be friends. If the watermelon is not, they're not going to be friends. Destiny says, okay, they go do it. And it's, and Destiny's like, so you're going to bet our friendship on a watermelon? Destiny says, well, you bet it on Tiffany. Mel holds in a whole bunch of crap and then puts on this front. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have stayed sitting on that couch and discussed this so that all of that could have came out. So you don't have to fake the funk and do all this fraudulent crap and let all your anger come out in little bits so that you are this passive aggressive jerk that you seem to be. Sit down and have the conversation. Don't do this. Well, let's go crack open this one. And if this is the sweet, we're still gonna be friends. If not. And then because she's in her confessional explaining how it's basically how she don't care about it. How it's this nothing. People have their opinions. You can agree or disagree, but you still. We know, Mel. We have seen 3 seasons of you holding on to stuff. What's wrong? Go talk to somebody other than that lady. Go talk to a counselor other than that lady that we saw. I can't think of her name, but she did not do anything with you apparently, because you are not inside your body. Yeah, so the watermelon sweet, and they're, they, haha, we're friends. While that's cute, the optics are awesome. Like I said, Mel knows how to give a good optic, but it's trash, because when they show what's happening in the next episode, Mel Mel says, the last time I saw you at Black, which was with, as the episode goes on, when I, explain it in a bit, they go to Black for the kids' 8th grade graduation party. And Mel's like, so in the next scene, the reason why I'm saying that, everything is not cool, and discussing how, they're basically saying they're not really friends to me, because in the next scene, or in the next episode, Mel and Destiny are going to be talking, and Mel says, well, the last time I saw you at Black was kind of, passive aggressive. And they're just like, so why, y'all haven't talked since then? Y'all haven't talked, like, why aren't y'all, oh my gosh, I cannot stand, I can't stand fraudulence. And, it's just like, anyway. So I just don't think they're friends. And so, speaking of the graduation party, they all show up to this graduation party. First is Scott's showing up. The Scott boys show up on front of this. This mural idea is so, these people, the Scotts really are serious about their kids. Well, all of them, the Scotts and the Hulls, are serious about their kids. They love their children, but the Scotts are really serious about the legacy. And they have this mural up that they showed us last season, at the end of last season, when they had the opening for Black. The mural up of the boys. I think it's 4 boys. Only 3 of them. We only see 3 of them normally, but I think that they have the Scotts have another brother that has a son. And he's also in the mural, and and they're all graduating. And so they're all the guys, or all the fathers, all the brothers are getting together, and or standing around, and they're discussing, they're giving tips on the rites of, they're saying how important the rites of passage are to the Scots, and how being a Scot means something, and they're giving advice on the fact that you're going to high school. Everything means something now. That's what Maurice says. All your choices are gonna, mean something now. And I don't remember what Marcel said, but he said something too. And then Kiowa's husband, which is Monster's stepfather, said something, and then Kimmy said something, Tisha said something, and even Ms Wanda said something. Ms Wanda's back, honey. I love her. She's looking cute with her little haircut. She says, the most important thing is for y'all to remember that you're not the only people out here, and don't be, don't get stuck on yourself. It's not all about you. And that's some important advice. Everything everyone said was important. That was important too. So then they go get on the party bus, and they head on to Black. Black is where they're going to have the party, for the actual party for their graduation. I wonder where the other kids were, because it's supposed to be for the kids. I guess it was just a family affair, but then you had Mel coming in, and you had Tiffany for some reason come. Come on, show. Y'all keep having these events and calling on one thing, and then you just have these. Is this an 8th grade party for the kids? 8th grade graduation party for the kids, and Tiffany's there. Come on, she could have not been there, but she was there, and she had to get what she got. But first, let me mention how when Mel came in, she goes around hugging everyone, and she, let me go hug my husband, Marcel. Excuse me? Mel, I recall you taking issue with how touchy-feely Kimmy was. Wait, hold on. At the brunch, or at the taco thing earlier in the episode, they touch on how Kimmy's touchy touchy-feely with Destiny and Kimmy. They were playing that Would I Ever game. They were, talking about, which I guess maybe like would you have a threesome or something. But Kimmy was saying how her and Maurice talk about it often. And Destiny, for some reason, well, I guess because she was looking at Destiny when she said it, Destiny thought that Kimmy was saying that she would have a threesome with her, but she said, no, I'm not talking about you. Destiny, wow. But she said she said at some event, Kimmy was touchy-feely with her. She was rubbing her leg or something. So, and the Kimmy was like, no, I'm touchy-feely with everybody. Remember that whole thing about Martell? And Tisha was like, well, you better not ever be touchy-feely with Marcel. So that brings us back to the party at Black. Mel coming in and saying, let me go hug my husband. And then Mel also divulges that Marcel himself brought a bottle of chocolate in a bottle, the champagne that they have, to Mel. And he later on says that he did it to ask her to be a brand ambassador, but he did it alone. And Wanda has an issue with that. And we're all, not we're all, but me, I'm just like, why you keep going to see this woman by yourself? Like, remember last season, they were kind of flirty. Like, what is going on with that? Like, do y'all not Tisha not only Tisha, but Ms Wanda? And then you say that in front of Ms Wanda? Tisha wasn't around when he mentioned this, or when she mentioned this, but she brought him a bottle of wine, and Mel is just trying her hardest to just screw with Marcel and Tisha, in my opinion. Because anyway, so Martell comes in as well, and he tries to hug her, and she goes on this whole tangent about how Marcel always try to hug her, but she doesn't belong to him anymore. And then the guys, are all together, how they are, work hard, play hard, and they want to go outside and smoke and talk guy stuff, and they, Marcel come on, and they keep joking with Martell, and Martell's, his light is very dimmed, for whatever reason. So, but they're taking jabs at him, and Mel's like, don't let them keep messing with you, Martell. And also Tisha, when Martell comes in, Tisha pokes on Martell's arm. So, I mean, to me that doesn't mean much, but I just don't know if she would want Mel touching on Marcel's arm. Marcel is actually looking kind of buff too, but I don't know. So that's just an aside. So anyway, Mel is like, you don't let them joke on you, Martell. And then they're like, oh, Team Holt. All the guys are joking and saying like, y'all still love each other. Marcel says in his confessional that he thinks that they still love each other because for there to be hate, there has to be a whole lot of love. So they go outside and they're joking. Martell is stuck in Black, and he's talking to Ms Wanda and Mel, and Ms Wanda is telling Mel she need to give him a chance, and and all this, and the Mel's just like, if you want me to if you think he deserves a chance, you give him one, you marry him then, and she's just, Mel's just I can't call her a jerk on this one, but she's just always a jerk to me. And then later on she says like, she finds it, she thinks it's strange. I don't know if it's the next episode or this one, but it's all happening in the same place. She thinks it's strange that Miss Wanda is wanting them to be back together when she's on Ariane's page all the time talking about how beautiful she is. What that has to do with anything, I don't know, but that just lets you know that Mel harbors these issues. She's passive aggressive as she is because she holds all this stuff inside, and it comes out, whether she's trying to act like she's above it all or not. And that's just you're just not a genuine person doing that, So the guys are outside talking, and it's because they showed part of the next episode, so it's hard to remember what was in this and what was in that. But Martell still looks very like drained and just uncomfortable. Like, it's sad to see. He's a jerk, but it's just sad to see how broken. It's sad to see anybody broken, really. so they're joking him or whatever, and somebody brings up, or somehow Marcel brings up the DNA test, whatever. But the most important thing is this talk that um, Maurice said that he was going to talk to Tiffany Tail about what she said. So, Maurice, Maurice is, he likes to do things by the book, and give respect to the husband, because the husband was there. Tiffany's husband was there. So him and Kimmy go have a sit down with him and Tiffany, and Maurice is just telling them, like, I think it's messed up that you brought up what happened with my son, because that's a privacy. I think there's a privacy issue there. And he said he didn't even tell Kimmy. He told Kiowa, which is, Monster's mom, because that, I guess basically they know their son and they know how he is. And he kind of alludes to the fact that he thinks that his son might, be a little bit sensitive to public, public embarrassment or whatever. Even including Kimmy, I guess he just didn't want, I don't know, but who knows why he really didn't tell Kimmy. I still don't get it, but so he's just like, so he didn't know that all of Huntsville was talking about it. And then Kimmy was like, well, Tisha told me that Mel told her. Again, Mel, what's up? What's up with you, Mel? Girl, you just get your stuff together. Mel told Tisha. And Kimmy was just like, all these people, I didn't know. So they didn't know that Huntsville was talking about it. So basically, Tiffany's like, well, for me, if it was my situation, I would have posted it and made it a learning situation, because she thought that they were sitting there having a conversation about kids, parenting and blah, blah, blah. And for her, it's okay to be, she thinks it's okay to be open because you're teaching people. No, girl, you were being messy. We all know. We saw your face in the confessional. We saw your face while you said it. You're not a dummy. You are stank, manipulative, and just some other word out here for you. But she starts crying, and I think she says that she's how sorry she is or whatever, and the husband says how sorry he is. And then they go of course Mel comes over while she's crying, and because Mel is nosy. Mel comes over and y'all having a serious conversation, and Maurice is like, yeah, it's a serious conversation. It's about the stuff with my son or whatever. And Mel's like, well, I've known Tiffany for a long time, and I've never known her to be the type to try to mess up, to mess with anybody. And then Mel and Tiffany go into the bathroom, and Tiffany's crying, and then Mel says, I think the real problem is that Maurice didn't tell Kimmy. I think that's the real problem. And then even Tiffany is like, I know the real problem is, the fact that I said something in front of everyone, but I didn't mean it that way or whatever. Mel, why didn't you go in the bathroom with Destiny? When Destiny was all right? Isn't that your best friend? Well, before the watermelon told you, isn't that your best friend? Mel, please go to hell. No. Mel, she's awful, even more awful than ever, like in this episode, this season. Like she's just really showing the worst. Well, this is probably even the worst, is it? We never know. But so I think that's pretty much it. The next episode looks like it's going to be good. Destiny and Mel are going to get into it again, or it looks like they're going to get into it again. And Kimmy and Ms Wanda are going to get into it. I don't know what Ms Wanda said, that Kimmy is doing something online that's negative about Tisha, and she's getting at her about it. I love Ms Wanda. I hope what she's saying is real, just because I don't want her to be like as much of a liar as she would have to be if it wasn't real. And in fact, in the next episode, Ms Wanda is going to be talking to Marcel about the whole situation with Mel, and Marcel is going to say, your mom is a known liar. What she be lying? Like what? So it seems like it's going to be a good episode. It might be a little stressful, especially in comparison to the last two episodes. This episode was kind of stressful, but only because I don't know. I shouldn't say it was stressful. This episode was kind of I don't know. Just Mel is irritating. But next episode, it looks like a couple more people are going to be irritating. Because Kimmy's not going to pull no punches with Ms Wanda. And it just looks weird to be in somebody's mama face. I know people feel like, if your mama can get it too. I know people feel like that, but I'm not that. I'm not that. And that's why I say I give respect to Mel on the fact that she checks herself when it comes to Tisha's mom, Ms Wanda. She doesn't let her have it like she might be able to. She doesn't, I don't know, but Kimmy and they say Kimmy and Ms Wanda are peers. I guess they're the same age or in the same age group, so whatever. But that's how that go.